Right. Thank you very much for joining us today. We run this regular session on Friday at 12 p.m. to discuss about Skilled Up Life. Thanks, Chidima, for joining. Let me do a quick introduction. Some of you in the audience already know. Some of you are part of the team. Hopefully, we'll get more people joining us shortly. Skilled Up Life is a two-sided marketplace. On one side, we have individuals who are volunteering to gain experience and skills to improve their career prospects. On the other side, we have cash-starved tech founders trying to build companies and struggling. They subscribe to us. Once they subscribe, they can access our volunteers. So we have nearly just over 41,800 volunteers coming from 137 countries. We have helped over 118 tech startups across the world, mostly coming from UK, USA, Europe, Africa, also Asia. South Asia, specifically. So we haven't been able to penetrate some of the other areas. We do have customers from also South America as well. So the how SkilledUp Life operates is that we believe that anyone over 18 years can use us to improve their career prospects. This could be that getting the first job if you are just 18 plus, or it could be you want to change your career, you want to have a go from one area to another. It could be from one sector to another. You might be in oil and gas and you want to break into tech, or it could be that you are in marketing. You're not very happy in marketing, but you're interested in human resources, so you want to break into human resources. Or it could be that you are of around my age, so I'm 55, and you might just want to hang out with a little company and help them become company of tomorrow. So these are the different type of reasons why people volunteer through us. The volunteering scheme is set up to not be an intrusion to your daily life. It's more of an add-on. So volunteering is typically 2 to 3 hours per day for 60 volunteer days under a 3 months volunteer agreement. So anyone, instead of watching TV in the evening, can actually volunteer and gain that invaluable experience, which might help you to get a new job or change your job, etc., or might even get a promotion within your current job. So that's the volunteering side, and we are also trying to provide 3 type of opportunities. One around, if you are very young and have no previous experience, sort of getting that junior experience. Then you can also get managerial experience. You could run a team of people, team of volunteers. So managing a team is that you will learn many skills that you might have a full-time job, but you're not a manager. You're not managing people. Now you can come to us and get that experience, go back and say that, tell your boss, you got some extra experience, and maybe you can get a promotion. Who knows? Third type is we can provide also leadership skills. Within SkilledUp Life itself, we have we have 3 layers now. We started back in 2020 just by myself, but we now have a team of 80 plus. We peaked at 103, so hopefully we'll go beyond that in the near future. We have team leaders, so Godwin and Chidima are team leaders, and below them, depending on the team, you might have sub team leaders. So you can look at sub team leaders as getting management experience because they are they are managing a team. Where at the team leader or leadership level, you could run let's say 20 people under you and leading a team. So within Skill Up Life, we have two volunteers at the leadership level. One is Kingsley, a very experienced individual. He runs our research team. We have Janet, a second time volunteer, very experienced as well. She runs our partnership teams. And I think going forward, it depends on, let's say that you want to have CEO type experience. I don't see why it would you would not be able to gain that. We ourselves have a little. We're trying to build a couple of new products, simple applications, tools that are useful. So when these tools, we're ready to launch, etc., we can open up opportunities for somebody to come and run that team for 3 months. Function as a chief operating officer or even as a chief executive officer. So anything is possible on the volunteering side with Skill Up Life. On the company side, we are exclusively for early stage technology companies. We have focused very much on companies that have not raised investment, but going forward, we will be opening up to some of those companies who raise investment but are really struggling in the current environment. So if you look at the investment landscape, if you look at the tech startup landscape, you could break them into sort of three categories. One, people who build by without raising external investment, people who rely on external investment to grow, and then the sort of hybrid of the two. But those companies who have raised investment, they are normal. Um, the way they've structured is that they had to continuously raise investment because an investment round is really to achieve a certain milestone. Once you get to that milestone, to get to the next one, you need more cash going into the organization. But the cash has become a little bit harder to get since last year, and is going to get harder this year as well. So those companies who raised a lot of money in the past are not able to raise similar round again. They are struggling. So I think we can be another solution to those type of companies. So these are how different type of organizations using us, different type of individuals using us. That was a quick introduction. So let me get the team introduced. Chidima, would you mind introducing yourself? Just explain what you do, where you came from, etc. Please.
Thank you, Manoj. Hello, everyone. My name is Chidimamba from Nigeria. I'm the head of the support team. I joined SkilledUp Life in 2022 as a volunteer. So I joined to gain experience, and after my volunteer period ended, I was offered employment, and I've been with SkilledUp Life since then. So what my team does is to provide support to users of SkilledUp Life. When you get to our website, we have support agents that are there round the clock to provide the needed assistance, to help you to navigate the website seamlessly. And we are there to provide you with information, tips on how to use SkilledUp Life and get the benefits. So I call SkilledUp Life a hub of opportunities, because it's a place where you can get experience if you're the type that maybe seeking to transition to a new profession, or maybe you're fresh from school. So it's a good place, to gain experience that will help you to make progress in your career. So we also provide support to tech companies. So we help tech companies to promote their opportunities by by promoting the opportunities to professionals, because in SkilledUp Life we have a lot of skilled professionals. So we help them to we show them these opportunities to make sure that these companies are able to build teams using a pool of professionals. So anytime you're on SkilledUp Life and you need assistance, just button or at the right hand side bottom right. So when you click on that button, somebody in the support team will be there to provide the needed assistance. Thank you.
Thanks, Chidima. Godwin, would you mind introducing yourself and talk about the vital role you play, please?
Okay, thank you, Manoj. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. Well, I joined SkilledUp Live October 2021. I think that's about 15 months into the business operations and all. And I think it's been a wonderful ride. You know, eventually I became a full-time member of the SkilledUp Live team, and indeed it's been wonderful. Well, at SkilledUp Live, I head the marketing team, also lead the user acquisition team. But of course, as you know, at SkilledUp Live, we have a special kind of users. These are talents, individuals who are looking to, grow their professional careers. And of course, what we're looking to do is, go out there, get as many people who wouldn't mind coming through SkilledUp Live, volunteering, and gaining experience. So with regards to that role, my trust will be going out there, getting all of these interested individuals, bringing them aboard, and indeed helping the community grow. So that's what the user acquisition team's goal is. For the marketing team, it's about brand awareness. We're trying to communicate as best as possible what SkilledUp Life is about, its benefits, and indeed everything about SkilledUp Life, So yes, we're structured in such a way that we've got sub-teams, like Manoj said. We currently have 7 sub-teams, though not all staffed yet. Some of them are relatively new, so we're looking to start those teams. We've got the content creation team whose goal or whose duty is to create content. We want to bring these activities to the barest minimum and help people become actionable, and result-oriented as quick as possible. So we have the content creation team creating content. We've got another team that distributes the materials. We want to tell stories. We want to be able to communicate and convey the value volunteers are getting, their expectation, and so on. We also want to be able to paint, and create case studies from customers. So we have a case studies team that does all of that. And then we've got an events team. The events team makes events like this possible. The recently created ones are, we want to do more with our website. We want to be able to do more PR. And very importantly, too, we also want to create that synergy between sales and marketing. So at SkilledUp Live, we've got a marketing team, and we've also got a sales team. We want to see that scenario where all we do as part of brand awareness becomes some valuable, and tangible result. Sales can benchmark on and go, do the, hit their goals and so on. So we created the pre-sale team to be able to achieve that. So this is the 7 teams substructure of the marketing team, and this is what we've been trying to grow. So sorry, I initially didn't mention I'm also from Nigeria, and it's been a wonderful ride. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Godwin and Chidima as well. So we've spoken for about just over 15 minutes. If anyone in the audience would like to join and have a discussion, please raise your hand. I can let you in. Among the audience are 2 of our customers, John and Dimitri. John, Dimitri, if you'd like to join, please raise your hand. You could do a quick introduction, and then you could talk about how you are growing as a business, and maybe you could talk about the currently open opportunities. Feel free to do that. Raise your hand, then I can let you in. I also got in the audience, Juliet is my executive assistant volunteer. Prior to Skilled Up Life, I never ever had an assistant, never even dream of having one. And Skilled Up Life has given me that opportunity to work closely with another person from around the world. So hi John, just please introduce yourself.
Hello, is that working?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Hello, and thank you for that. I'm John Twig. We created Potentialization, which we're aiming to try and help as many people as possible understand themselves in terms of personality, skills, lots of different things. The aim is to try and help as many people as we can improve a bit. So we're building a platform to start with for psychological surveys. In fact, it could be any survey, really. It could be emotional intelligence, all sorts of different things, because it's a generic, scalable platform. We're just building a team. We've just taken... we're waiting for the third person in the HR team to sign their volunteer agreement, which is exciting. So that will be one in Nigeria, one in Kenya, and I think this third one, Colombia. The team was saying it would be really good to have people from around the world for different time zones as we get volunteers in different areas, which I thought was a really good idea as well. And we're about to list, I've just clicked on Juliet's profile because we're just about to list for an executive assistant. Like you, Manoj, I've never had one of these before, and I'm not quite sure how it will work, but I know I'm very disorganized and I need more organization. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what we can do.
Thank you. So Juliet is my, I think, third executive volunteer since I started Skilled Up Life, and she has been brilliant help. So in the Skilled Up Life ecosystem, I can only share how we are benefiting from our own service, and the way that the key difference between, let's say, functional volunteer, let's say HR volunteer or marketing volunteer versus executive volunteer assistant is that executive assistants can do many different things. They might not be a specialist of any particular area, but they can do many things, especially things like list building. Juliet is sometimes functioning as a police lady for getting some of my team into order. So she has a little bit of extra power as well. So you could use that individual in different ways. Whereas I'm glad to hear you have 3 HR volunteers, and glad to see you got somebody from Colombia. We have one customer from Colombia. We got obviously I presume that she might also be able to speak Spanish. I know you're thinking about different languages as well, so that's a great move. Well done.
Yes, I think I might be mixing up. We've got a business development person from Colombia.
Okay.
In my system, I could check it up, but it's South America, both of them.
Okay.
This is one of the issues I'm finding is that I've had to ask everybody, whenever we're talking about meetings, can we please do it in UK time? Because if they're thinking about how to convert into UK time, that's one thing. If I'm trying to convert into 5 or 6 different time zones, it gets very confusing. So that's a really useful little thing. But yes, no, I really like the idea that an executive assistant could help with really keeping in touch with a lot of the other volunteers, who's doing what. Because obviously, as you get more people, it gets harder and harder to do. We need to find team leaders and build up like that. But it's a process we need to work through in the right order, which, as you say, recommend starting with HR and executive assistant first.
Yeah. I mean, it's HR is really key to unlock the large talent pool we have. One of the problems we have with very early stage tech companies that have not yet launched the product is that they seem to focus almost like 100% on the product. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but they also got to understand that once you got that product alone, you got to make sure that everything else is ready. Otherwise, you can't actually push that product into the market. If the market doesn't know you even exist, then it's harder. So you could start to actually start building a marketing team. So you could work it out saying, what comes first, the sales come first or marketing. Marketing, in my opinion, comes first. I remember, I don't know whether, John, you met a chap called Tony Bray from Manchester before, but I remember before he launched his last company, well before the product was ever ready, he started build. I mean, he was a very experienced entrepreneur. He focused heavily on building the marketing side, creating the demand, telling the world that this is what they are doing, this is coming, and get the market ready. So this is another aspect that you could do. So Godwin got a lot of experience of working with first volunteering for us, now working for us as part of the key team. And he's one of the things I think I will do is, you've seen the HR team page I built on SkilledUp Live. What I might do is I might also build a marketing team page and give some suggestion about how you can structure that. Because we have lots of content writers, we have lots of copywriters, video creators, video editors, social media folks. So it makes sense to sort of start thinking about marketing as well as you are focusing on the product.
Yes, I agree. Marketing, I think, has got to come before sales because you need awareness. There are going to be people out there that will like your product as soon as they even see that it exists through marketing without even a big sales effort. So, yes, absolutely. There's got to be people out there that are very good fit for your product. We're a little bit different because we've actually got people that we're connected to. My other director has actually been networking for lots of years. And our very first mini market will be the people that are already using his service. So that gives us a way of testing the software and scaling it a little bit, making sure it's all okay before we try and launch to a bigger market. What we're building is actually quite a bit to it. So it's going to take quite a bit of testing to make sure that it's, etc. So, because I'm wary of going too much into marketing, and then if the product isn't even ready for 3 months, those volunteers will be moving on. So I'm still, and of course there's lots of teams I could be building with software testing people, all sorts of things. So we're just trying to build it up a little bit at a time.
Yeah, I think it is important. End of the day, you are the driver of the organization, so you got to be comfortable in working out as much as possible what might be the optimal model, which teams need to come in place at which time. So I think it's quite an exciting period as well to do that. So if anyone else in the audience would like to join, please raise your hand. I can let you in. Dimitri, you are always we are always open to you. You've been with us for such a long time. Hi, Dimitri. You need to unmute. You are still muted.
Hello, Manoj. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I don't think I came up since last year in your amazing event. So I'm wishing you to achieve everything that you envision for this new year. How is everything going for you?
It's good. I mean, the start has been really good. We also picked up 2 more French companies, and obviously we have Natalie who speaks French, and I think you joined her events before. So we are not ignoring French. Let's put it that way. We would love to have more.
Let's say that I'm French, but the company is not.
Yes,
I
French. Yes.
I was living in the US and incorporated in New Jersey. So yeah,
yes.
I read between French and
so are you in France right now, or you're back in the US?
Yeah, still, I think I'll stay all the way to the Olympic game. I'll try to network and get some sponsoring for the company.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'll be back. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So do you want to do a quick introduction to the audience? And
Yes, I am the founder and CEO of the VO Superstore. So it's a small startup, still early stage startups. I think we are heading toward our second year in business. So our company is specialized in virtual reality products that we are marketing to our customers, especially retail customers. It's let's say our customer base, and then we are progressing on improving our solutions. So we have solutions for pretty much let's say everybody's educative, business, researchers, and developers in the industry. So we have been part of the SkilledUp live since December 2022. So we just celebrated our first year. I understand that's a long time, according to what Manoj said. But yeah, we have been proudly taking part of the SkilledUp ecosystem, resources, knowledge into shaping up our venture from among the other things. So yes, I think brief introduction on ourselves. This year we are focusing on bringing our company to the next stage. I think it will be focusing on sponsoring, for the partnership, and then marketing development as well, because we rebranded our website since a few weeks ago. So let's say we have a fully new website, new functionality. So I think that will trigger remarketing, let's say, rebranding all of our previous strategy. And then focusing on the volunteering, let's say, we try to incorporate learning and development for our volunteers, partnering with our resources such as Microsoft and LinkedIn. So we'll try to incorporate that in our volunteering, in which they will be able to obtain, let's say, industry certificates into working volunteering with us. So I think that's a top level presentation. If any questions, maybe from you or Manoj or anybody, happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Dimitri. I mean, it's great, great to have you. You have been with us for such a long time, and in the case of John actually was a customer for 2 years, but he didn't actually use us, so he returned, and now he's using us. So it's slightly different use cases, and it's really interesting to hear both from you. Is anyone in the audience want to join and share what you're doing? Chibombia, if you want to join, please raise your hand. So John, I don't know whether you know, Andrew Trelfall is in Zambia for 2 months. So we set up a little research effort, and Chibombia is helping me to get an understanding of the Zambian tech ecosystem. And today, earlier, we were talking about maybe once the research come to a certain level, maybe we might create a report and share that. And if that works out, we might keep doing that for a few other countries as well. So Chibombia, if you want to come and introduce yourself and talk about what you're doing with us, you're welcome to do that. Prior to this, Chibombia volunteer for Deallight, my other a little early stage venture. So she's obviously she had gained some experience about the UK tech ecosystem. Now she's getting an understanding of her own country's tech ecosystem. I mean, obviously it's too early to discuss about roles, but who knows, So all we are doing here is giving an opportunity to an individual, but in addition to doing, daily tasks, she's also getting a deep understanding into a tech ecosystem. And anyone who wants to hire such an individual, she will be a great asset after the volunteer period. So I think, you had to look at volunteering with us. This is real. These are not projects that created just for getting a certificate or anything like that. These are real companies. These are companies trying to solve problems. Dimitri and John spoke about them. and ourselves as well. So any experience you get is real. There's a lot of closer cooperation between the company and the volunteers. We are trying to make it, obviously it got to work for both parties. The company has to get a benefit, real benefit, and the individual has to get a real benefit, and that benefit then can be transferred into, they're basically monetizing that after the volunteer period and going out to the market and saying, listen, I got this experience. I helped this company move from this stage to the next stage. This is how I did it. Give me a job. So that's what we think that, the impact of what we are doing is. We have many case studies where individuals have volunteered and gone and got jobs from outside the marketplace. In some cases, if the company grows, they might also consider creating jobs because they know who helped them. They have understanding of the individuals. We ourselves has created 3 jobs in SkilledUp Life and 2 jobs at Deallight, so collectively 5. We love to create more jobs, but we got to also grow. So Dimitri, I don't know whether one of the areas that I have not been successful is sales. I don't know whether you are at a level where you are creating a sales or business development team.
No, I am. I think I'm behind you because
Okay.
as you know, most of our sales are generated through analytics, especially retail sales. So everything is automated. We don't have a sales force. Our customers, they are able to find the information that they need from our marketplace. And then so we just need maybe support function, customer support function. Most of the sales are generated through our campaigns. So we have various types of campaign from which they paid ads, email marketing. We also do social media campaigns. And then we also integrate our product through other third-party marketplace, such as eBay and other, in which we generate most of our sales from this segment. I think since last year we started studying setting like a proper sales teams, which would be focusing on B2B. B2B is our weakness. B2B educative, it's our weakness so far. But as you know, the retail segment is so dynamic on our end. We still have a few margin, but I think as a structure, I'm still behind what you're building with proper sales force, like lead generation in that end. We are still relating on analytics to do that, but hopefully, I hope that this quarter at least I'm able to start the desk. I think we made a few progresses since we have a sales dashboard now in which we can automate sales campaign per se. Business development. So last year we did a business development campaign which was quite successful, targeting partnership in the supply. But that was still done by a third-party consulting firm. So internally we are still building that, but we try to find our ways with the analytics, especially in our market segment. The retail customers, they are able to make their ways with our strategies.
Okay, thank you very much, Dimitri. John, you said that you recruited a business development volunteer. How would that work? Would you consider that as more of a business development or more as a sales?
Hello. Yes, that was an accident that happened because I was on this call probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and Maria was listening in, and she said she'd like to work with us. She's got an excellent CV. We're at quite an early stage, so she's looking at really the structure of how we might even organise ourselves and the very basics at the moment, because we've got lots of possible ways forward. She said once she's gone through that, though, she'd actually be quite happy to help us work and create a social media team and those kind of things. So it's the very early days of what will lead towards marketing, I think.
Okay. So we have plenty of failures, and I've never been shy of talking about failures, but our biggest failure has been our ability to build a sales team. So I've actually failed 3 times now, and I'm going to attempt the fourth time. So I can share a little bit about the structure I'm going to adapt. The third time, the structure was pretty much what typical what you see in the industry. You start with what's called a sales development representative, then you have account executives, and then you have sales operations. And so when we started last time, we focused on the sales development representative first, and we gave a task of capturing leads and qualifying them. And obviously, volunteering is 3 months, and it's 60 days, typically about 2 hours. So it's not a lot of time. And then once they got 65 leads, then I asked them to pick 10 and then try to nurture them. Didn't quite work out as I expected, but we had one volunteer who, with a bit of help from me, managed to actually close a sale. So that's in a way that was positive, but it's a lot less than what I was expecting. So for the fourth time, I'm taking a different approach. What I'm thinking is that sort of lead capture and that very initial qualification, I'm putting that under research. So what Chibombia is doing is she's going deep into her own country, finding companies, etc. So then what I'm planning to do, so I'm planning to build a research team to do that. And then one of their outputs could be maybe we write a report we can share openly, and again that's content, and then Godwin can does his magic. He can do the magic on that, and that gives a bit more credibility about ourselves. And on the back of that, we can create a certain demand, and then I want to have a sales team which would simply start further qualifying them as sales leads, and then start nurturing. So I'm separating what I had, what I tried to do in my third attempt, and hopefully this time I'm hoping for success. Obviously, every time I hope for success, but it hasn't happened. So that's my attempt, and I think it's a hardest thing for an early stage company is to build a sales team. Most of us as founders can get those initial sales, just like what I have done, but it's then transferring that and coming up with a methodology that is repeatable. That's very hard, because we attract founders, and I'm a founder, so we have a natural language that other founders, like in this case John and Dimitri, understand. But when somebody else comes and try to attract a founder, the founder sees them as sales, immediately. So it doesn't quite happen like that. So it's a little bit tricky to transfer that sort of. It's not the same knowledge that could be transferred down. But we are learning, and once if that works out, I will also be sharing, and we'll have a web page on one method of building a sales team. So that's my biggest challenge. Most tech companies fail because they haven't got enough sales. I don't think companies fail because they don't have a great product. I think even a decent product can generate sales. It's the sales side or commercialization that brings a downfall of a company. So we want to address that, and as we go deep into, hopefully we'll attract more people who want to join SkilledUp Life, as volunteers and available to our companies as well. So I just want to put it out there. If you got anything, we could talk about it. Anyone else in the audience? I know some of you have been listening for a long time. Teresa, Ruth, Shadrach. Please raise your hand and join in. Some of the others are our teammates. Chibombia, if you want to come and share what you're doing, please do so. Again, I think we ourselves don't spend enough time doing this. We want, while they are volunteering, we want them to sort of build their profile on LinkedIn. Sometimes when I look at somebody's profile on LinkedIn, it's not less than their profile on SkilledUp Live. So you can't actually go to market and say, give me a job if you haven't got a profile. Chibombia, please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about you, and please go ahead.
Hello everyone, my name is Chibombia Siawala from Zambia. I'm in Lusaka. Am I clear? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Okay. Yes, so I'm in Lusaka. So I just recently started volunteering with SkilledUp. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm finding the Zambian accelerators and tech startups, and then I'm also finding tech personalities in Zambia, those people that are quite influential in the tech space in Zambia, and also I'm also gathering some information on upcoming events in the country that are tech related, that are helping all the tech entrepreneurs that are starting in the country. So I am basically gathering from various reputable sites, just getting these companies and accelerators and putting them in a spreadsheet, which, as Manoj has alluded to, will eventually be able to create a report on it that we'll be able to publish. So that's basically what I'm going through. I'm going through a lot of websites. I'm reading through reports. I'm reading through a number of things just to gather all this information. So hopefully it will be useful eventually and published. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chibombia. So I don't know whether something similar is relevant to John and Dimitri's businesses. One thing you could do is, again, look at research. Now, sometimes if you have a white paper out there or some sort of a booklet or something, suddenly, that could increase your credibility. Now, we ourselves don't have anything out there yet. So I think we'll start doing this. Godwin, do you have any thoughts on this? Because I haven't actually spoken to you about this. So if we end up producing, let's say, we can only do a review, right? Let's say review into a tech ecosystem of Nigeria or Kenya. Obviously we will do one for Zambia. Do you think that would help us? And love to hear your thoughts as well on this.
Well, you're right, Manoj. I think ultimately this is an area we will have to explore. Beyond reports, we'll also have to, as we grow, as we learn, become better, and our top leadership materials. These essentially will position us, of course, at the top level there. What we're doing is novel. And of course, it comes to many, not too sure as to what we're doing. But of course, as we progress and as we get these things done and are able to, disseminate that information as well, it will eventually catch up, and help us communicate even more from that level of mastery. That's essentially where we want to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so if we talk about ourselves, we have sometimes certain things are duplicated. So within the sales team, the past sales team, we collected data on tech companies of Nigeria, for example. Then from a marketing angle, Godwin's team has collected data on the Nigerian tech ecosystem to some extent. And from the research team, this is a different research team we have. They have also collected. But the point is that we haven't actually thought about saying, can we actually combine all that, not just for our own benefit, but we can openly share with the rest of the world. And if you do that, how would it help us? First of all, just sharing is good. That's a positive thing to do. But obviously we are a business, and therefore we need to make sure that, if we put in a lot of effort, there's a return. So, but I think we can do that now. We have, this is our 4th year of operation. We are still very small, tiny, and not where I wanted us to be, but nevertheless we are still here. And I think if we can make some of this data that we collect available to the others, I think generally it will help the ecosystems out there. It will also give us a chance to be part of those ecosystems. So I think let's do that. I'll also talk to Kingsley. Kingsley leads our um, real research team. The reason I say real research team is that what we are doing is we are helping. On one side, we are helping to develop a global talent pool. Now, our interaction is that they are volunteering for us, so one of our customers. Just typically 3 months. They can extend that, but the real value in most cases is that what that individual does with that experience and skills they gain, and how they apply that to let's say a little bit more sizable organization with decent capital behind them. So they are the ones, if you look at this, get that real value later on. So I wanted to get some understanding about what this could mean. So that's why we set up the research unit, which is headed by Kingsley. Kingsley is very experienced and he's volunteering for us. So we want to continue to do that. So some point in time, I hope before end of this year, we will be able to produce certain reports. We want. John, you might find this quite interesting, and I don't know whether there's a collaboration opportunity here between you and us. One of the things we want to do is to look at how much the UK government spent on upskilling people, and how effective that is or not effective. And then looking at saying an alternative method that proposed by us, for example, which does not cost the taxpayer a penny. Could that also be considered as a part of a solution to this problem? We all know, you know more than me on this, the forthcoming, the technology is so advanced now, but the changes coming up will reduce the demand on human capital. These are things that, top topics, people spend millions and billions on it. And then, we feel like we could actually do something that doesn't cost the taxpayer any money at all. So I don't know whether there's, whether you see a potential collaboration on the research side.
Absolutely. This is really one of the, if not the primary reason why we created potentialization in the first place, that humanity over the years has gone through lots of changes, whether it be industrialization, going back even further, swapping from just hunting to growing crops. Obviously, the invention of computers and the internet has made major changes. But right now, and every time those changes happen, we see very big social changes as people have to move from one kind of job to another. Overall, this is improving society and getting better, but it's stressful during the changes. And at the moment, we're seeing more changes than the world has ever seen before, because artificial intelligence is replacing lots of jobs, like call centers, graphics design, lots of things are all getting automated. The robots are also coming soon. We have big industrial robots that make car factories, for example, more effective. But the humanoid robots are coming that will do all sorts of jobs much more cheaply. Many people are saying this will just make companies better and grow and won't impact jobs to start with. But in the slightly longer term, there's going to be massive changes in terms of the jobs. So a really critical part of how society copes with this is how we retrain, how we cope with the changes. So much coming. So absolutely, anything we can do along those lines will be really, really beneficial.
Yeah. So you're thinking, the broader sense, with yeah. So I think there's a I'll talk a little bit more internally, and see, because we lost some of our team members last month during the Christmas period. So Kingsley is rebuilding the team. So once he got a little bit further, perhaps we can set up a meeting and have a chat.
Yes, we've actually talked about a research team for ourselves, just in terms of potentially which industries will be affected most or fastest, all those kind of things. which might be where we might want to focus our attention in terms of where we can help most, all those kind of things.
Okay.
So yes, there seems to be a definite possibility of at least overlap in the research we do.
So, Dimitri, talking about virtual reality, I mean, how do you see your market developing? You had augmented reality first. You know, I don't know. I know one point you were looking for a researcher. I don't know whether you got any far with that. Anything you want to share?
Yes, on our end, as it pertains to the market, the market is our market comes and goes by phases. Retail, the retail side of it, entertainment, virtual reality for entertainment, it's a little bit more mainstream, let's say, and it extends now. Now you have the e-gaming side of it, like VR arcades, which is like leading and giving a little bit more visibility to this market segment. The next stage for virtual reality, augmented reality will be solutions, especially corporate solutions, in which the customers, especially B2B customers, using the technology to create content, especially training and simulation content. I attended a training and simulation recently in a corporate facility, which incorporate fire safety training in virtual reality, in which they replace like previous online content that they have with the technology, which is quite immersive. So I think that will be the next stage of development for our sector. The difficulty is that you don't find a lot of content in the industry. The content that you find are usually really short, usually blogging content. The customers, what they want to see, especially enterprise customers, to enter and to integrate the technology a little bit more, would be a customer research report, as you discussed. As I think it's the same problematic for us, which you understood that we were interested to incorporate more content. The difficulty for us is the custom in our market segments, because if you take a headset to make it work for a B2B customer, enterprise customer, they will need a specific custom, such as the SDK licensing, and then admin management, like remote versioning, to make it fit like a corporate framework, in which those customers they don't understand yet what it takes to do that, which will trigger the sector, which is not really doing that well, to create more content, deep dive contents like written research reports, to really lead and then show the customer work the customer through the content. So that's let's say our strengths, because we started early. I think there is probably one or two other companies that understood that outside the industry, in which in the future we intend to integrate like ebooks, customer written customer research reports, and so on, into a marketplace that they will be able to select based on their interest. Pretty much thinking about all of the sectors: virtual reality and design, virtual reality and real estate, virtual reality and aviation, as well as aviation is a sector which we are foreseeing that will be using the technology. Okay, so that's my takeaway. That's where we stand. Hopefully we can do a little bit more advanced and updates on this market segment. I think we are still early stage. We are not yet at the level of our retail and educative sector, in which we are quite advanced. But research, I think we're still early.
Thank you, Dimitri. Sounds like you have caught a lot of potential there, right? I mean, when you talk about different sectors as well. Wow. Okay.
Yes, because if you look at our business model, that's really what we understood, because we have a hybrid approach between product and solution, while most of the competitors, most of the company in the industry, they are focusing only on the product, which work well for retail customers, but B2B and like solutions, institution, educative, that's why the sector is behind, because you don't have a lot of content, great content there. So that's why we have this hybrid approach between product and solution, which makes us unique. At the moment, we are still like one of the few companies with this business model, and then which give us some sort of advance, even if we still need time to build like fully customized solution for all of the segments that we are targeting.
Thank you so much, Dimitri. We got 3 minutes left. Teresa, Shadrach in the audience, or Mayowa, if you like to have a quick chat before we close, please raise your hand. I can let you in. You can just introduce yourself, tell us what you think about SkilledUp Live, or you could talk about your careers. Please do, because these conversations are only useful when people engage. We had an amazing discussion with 2 companies, and also talk about some of the research we are doing. So take the opportunity. Please raise your hand. I can let you in. Otherwise, we'll finish in 2 minutes. Okay. So until that happened, I'll just sort of summarize. So we have a very long road ahead. We don't have all the answers yet. But where we are heading is that there are many places where you could go and find talent. You could find volunteering talent as well. But our focus is very much around building teams, because the volunteering that we offer is limited to 3 months typically, and that means it's on a revolving basis. So you got to have building teams make more sense than just getting 1 or 2 people to do whatever the critical activities you might have. So we are learning all the time. One of the things we are doing is that through failure ourselves, what we learn we share with our customers, and we didn't know that at the beginning. We need HR volunteers. We didn't know we should have executive assistants. Those came by trialing, failing ourselves. The time itself is important, because nobody can work out all the eventualities on day one, right? So we are here, and so the time's up. We'll catch you again in a week's time on Friday. So I wish you all a great weekend. Take care, and see you next time. Take care. Bye. Thanks, everyone.